Sadducees and the Pharisees as being the bad guys, right? We like to set up this thing in our life. Jesus and his disciples are the good guys, and those who were the leaders of that time were the bad guys. But I don't really think it's like that. I think the Sadducees and the Pharisees were the people who were trying to be the authority of that time, and they were trying to teach the tradition, and they were trying to keep the people in the community in a way that they were used to. You know, they were trying to give stability. How many of us like chaos? We like predictability, don't we? We like to be able to come in and have things just the right way. And so I think some of the things that the Pharisees and the Sadducees were doing was just that they wanted things to be the way they thought they should be. They followed the laws, they followed the traditions, but they wanted things to be just the way. We're like that too, aren't we? We like things a certain way, don't we? I see some people looking at their husbands and wives right now. We like tradition, we like predictability. I remember once in seminary having a friend of mine tell me that she and a bunch of other seminarians had gone to worship at a little church in the area. And they went just as they were. You know, when you're in seminary and when you're in college, you don't have a lot of money and you don't have a lot of really nice clothes. And so they went with just what they had on, jeans and whatever they could wear. And they worshiped a couple weeks there, and they were liking it, and they were feeling that this was a good place. And then one Sunday, they were pulled aside as a group. And there were a group of people who said to them, "It is our tradition to wear your best clothes to church on Sunday. We've been watching you come and worship with us, and we're thankful that you're here, but you're not dressed the way that we expect you to be dressed." Well, that was about the clothes that they had. They were going to school, they were working part-time jobs, and that's what they could afford. I don't have to tell you that none of them went back. Now, do I think that those people who pulled them aside did that on purpose to be mean? I don't think so. I think they just forgot who they were. I think they became just hearers of the words and not doers of the words, like it reminds us in James not to be. I think they got so attached to their tradition and the way that they thought their church should look that they just wanted to include them so they looked the same. Unfortunately, their words hurt, and they never went back. You know, that old saying that I just think is so ridiculous that say, you know, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. It's just not true. Words really do hurt. Words really do cut right to the heart, don't they? In James's reading today, he tells us to make sure that we are not just people who hear the word, but we are people that do the word, that we make the word part of our own lives and our own actions and our own words. You know, I think that being people who hear things, we become really good at that. We hear the words on the radio. We hear the sound of traffic. We hear conversations while we're over here texting. But I think we've forgotten to listen. Listen. To me, listening is sitting there and stopping and really taking the words in. When I read this passage, I want to say, instead of being hearers of the words, we need to be listeners of the words. We need to take the message that Jesus Christ gave us, and we need to make it part of who we are. That's not easy, is it? It's much easier to hear the words and then walk out the door and go back into our regular traditions, our regular everyday lives, our regular stuff, and forget all about Sunday and then put that back on again around 9 o'clock on Sunday morning when we're rushing out the door to get to church. But James says that we need to be doers of the word. To be doers of the word means that we need to be open to new ideas and new traditions and new people coming in, and that we need to share the word out there to others. Like those church ladies, people who wanted things to stay the same. Life doesn't stay the same. The laws and the traditions that Moses gave us are very, very important. It is important for us not to kill and not to slander against people, but it's also important for us not to hang on to the law so hard that we exclude people. Jesus came to teach us how to welcome all. When asked what are the greatest commandments, what does Jesus say? To love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself. I think that the message today, to be doers of the word, is to remember to love and respect each other, to give each other space. You know, I know you've heard this 100 times, but none of us are perfect. For some reason in this society, we have really become great at judging. We've become really great at finger pointing. We've become really great at bullying. But if we are not to be just hearers of the word, but if we are to listen and be doers of the word, then we need to be able to forgive and to be compassionate and to remember that no one is perfect. No one is perfect in the church. No one is perfect outside of the church. You don't know if that person is having a bad day, if they have a ton on their minds. But what we need to do is give each other the benefit of the doubt. To love each other as God loves us. To take the message of God's love. To not just place it in our hearts, but to go out with our hands and our mouths and to share the message of love. People of God, I'm going to ask you this week to listen to your own words, to watch your own actions. Are they in line with whose you are? You are the people of God. I invite you to look in the mirror and say, I am a child of God, and to, when you walk away, not to forget that. You are children of God. You are disciples. You have been asked to carry a wonderful message to others. I invite you to be doers of the word this week. Listen to what you say. Listen to how you love and you forgive and you show compassion to those around you. Be doers of the word. Amen.